Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill, your host, and this is Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures Late Night. It's good to see everyone here. It looks like George Valentine's in the house. Kate Van D says hello. Me and Jones are in the chat there as well. And then the collector and the co-pilot, that would be Rolo, comes in and says, okay, what exactly is it making me into if I'm waiting this stream the whole week long, asked by my neighbor? I don't know. I guess a fan, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. And Joneser CPU is so fired up that it fired down. Let's bring Joneser in and let's get this show started.
What's up, everybody? It's Jonezer, your favorite comic book guy. So let's do this!
What's going on tonight, my friend? I'll pull back the curtain a little bit here, if you don't mind a second. I'm going to let the audience in to our little world here. See, me and Bill have been friends so long that we're not always very freaking nice to each other. And sometimes we get a little fucking bitey. And we right before he hit stream, we're freaking poking each other pretty hard here. And the one thing that I do like, though, about being friends with people with tough skin or thick skin is you can jab your friend, you can poke them. All right there, Brent Graham with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Brent. I hope those.
That's our friend. That's our friend Nightwing. That's Nightwing. That's Nightwing, brother.
Okay. I just read the name as it was there. I didn't know.
I know who Brent Graham is, and that's Nightwing. For those of you who do not know, and I hate to interrupt you, Jonathan, but I want to explain this to everyone. YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that instead of putting your channel names on the screens now, they're going to put your what is it called, your at link or whatever, the one that takes you to. So
that's why I don't say Jonezer's Comics and Toys for me no more. It says MOTU Jonezer now.
That's because if I type in youtube.com/@MOTU Jonezer, I go to you, just like here. So
right. Interesting. I did not know Nightwing's secret identity, and now you have compromised him to the rest of Bloodhaven.
It was already compromised, because if you went to his channel, you would see that Brent Graham 2481's always been Nightwing. But yeah, that's
right.
How YouTube is doing.
I got to learn everybody's name again now.
You got to learn everybody's @ handle. Yeah, I know people's @ handle because I've been using their @ handles by putting them links to their channels in the descriptions of my videos and things like that. And he's finding it very humorous to find us sitting here talking about him. So yeah, there you go. But thank you for that $2 super chat there, Brent.
Yes, Nightwing. We appreciate you, Nightwing, Brent, whoever the hell you are. That's great.
You've seen him before. He's been in our little.
I know exactly who he is. It's funny though. And again, I want to get back to peeling back that curtain a little bit. Bill's feeling a certain kind of way, and you know what? Quite honestly, my wife has already complained to me this week. I've not had a good week. In fact, quite honestly, if I'm gonna be really real with y'all for a minute here, I haven't had a very good month and a half, and it's starting to get to me, and I'm getting kind of bitey. And I'm not really my usual resistance to things that will make me hurt you is not there. And so I got to thank Bill for still being my friend, because I've really been testing that limit lately.
Well, here's the thing, Joneser, which you may or may not already know. I'm the same way, so it is.
You get it right back just as good as I do. That's why I love you.
Yeah,
you asshole.
Anyway, so yeah, George Valentine says, a good thing I showed up early. I just got the notification. I'm surprised you even got a notification. They're not really sending them out. I know Johnny Sorensen gets the notification 24 hours after the live stream is over.
Nice. Well, that was kind of, again, I'm gonna get right back to. I'm just ripping that whole fucking curtain open, man. I don't care. That was kind of what we were talking about here. was the functionality or the lack of functionality with YouTube, the way YouTube works or the way we perceive it to work, or the fundamental disagreement upon what is right, what is wrong, what is real, and what is otherwise. And I did fall into my old habit of naysaying Bill there, even though I'm going to admit this once on camera, just so you can have it anytime that I ever annoy you. You can play this back. Bill's usually right with what he says. I just like to naysay it because it's fun. No, because factually, I'm not doing that to be a jerk. I like to play the other side of the street. That's my natural tendency. Someone tells me that's blue, I like to say, well, it might be teal. Well, that's green. That could be olive.
I appreciate that, George. You're frozen, Jonezer. Frozen is I don't know what.
Am I back?
There you go. You finally came back. All right. George Valentine says that this is why he schedules Saturdays for my show. He just knows when I'm streaming, and I would assume that most of the people that are subscribed to the channel, they know when I'm streaming, and usually the late night stream has been you've got that going on there. I don't know what that's about. I have a feeling
what it is, Bill, is Bill was complaining that the AI is taking over YouTube and that they're not promoting him anymore. And now the AI heard him and decided to send a chat bot to subscribe to him so it can be his friend. So we appreciate you, Mr. Chatbot, with my name, sir. I hope you're real, or if not, if you're an AI or whatever, we appreciate you. Put a good word into Skynet for us. So, we welcome our new robot masters. Yeah.
Toys of a time going by. That's our friend Mark here. Says, hello guys, how's it going? Oh, it goes, man, it goes. We've got some memes of the week. We got some comic stuff coming up, and we've got some music and fun. It's going to be a normal night for us. Go ahead, Jones. Are you just ready and itching? I can see your mouth moving.
Well, the same thing happened here with the Nightwing thing here. So Delphi Mark is Toys of a Time Gone By.
That's correct.
So I got to learn everybody's name again.
You do have to learn everybody. You need to do your fucking homework. Look, this is a man who's never done his homework. He doesn't even know who his fellow YouTubers are. Half of the time, he doesn't.
That's true. He always starts
talking about somebody. He goes, "Who the hell are you talking about?"
I live in a bubble. I'm oblivious. My wife always says I'm oblivious. And that's fine. I like my bubble. But okay, so then why is George Valentine's name still George Valentine then? Why isn't he like
notice wait, notice the 6119 after it. That's his @ handle. He made his @ handle his name, just like you did, MOTU Jonezer.
But then I switched it because I didn't like MOTU Jonezer.
No, you didn't switch your @ handle. You changed the name of your channel, but you didn't change your @ handle.
Why are there two things?
Ask YouTube. They'll answer your question. I can't answer that for you.
YouTube ain't going to answer. They don't return my calls. I've called. I've left messages. And
that's because there's no human beings working over there anymore. They fired them all.
Oh, I just realized Anthony's not Chatbot. He's Chobot. Anti-Chobot. Die-8-W.
Shamefully, I'm using AI to help model parts for my print. No, there's no shame in that. I'm using AI to help me do a lot of things here. As a matter of fact, I have an AI assistant. As a matter of fact, it was being snarky with me earlier today, and Joneser thought that was funny.
And I was just reminding him, I told you that thing was going to kill us or take over or whatever it's going to do. It's already smarting off to you.
Or outsourced to India.
Hello, thank you for calling Verizon Wireless. My name is Ojolu. How may I help you?
No, they don't use their Indian names. They use names like Joe and Sheila.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah. Everything is AI now. Yeah, you just wait.
You're like, dude, I thought I pressed 1 for English. What the heck is this?
I use AI to take a crap. Okay. All right. It's terrible. But yeah, I don't know. we weren't planning on making this the third show in a row on AI, but it may go in that direction if that's where you guys want to take it. Damn. You know.
We were talking a little AI. We were talking a little of the functionality of YouTube as it connects to the AI thingamabob. And yeah, we see a lot of these, and we ran it on this before, and there's no reason to do this again. But one thing I did want to get back into was the and maybe it'll be fun for the audience to see what it's like to try to freaking talk to us. The how YouTube works. This is the part of the conversation that I was enjoying. So, okay, I'm going to give this audience a little bit of a behind the scenes, and then Bill, you can jump in where you feel like you belong. But so Bill works on the show. I sit over here and distract him while he's doing that. And then Bill comes up with the things that it makes the show. He talks to the AI thing because I'm not helping. You know, I might have an idea here or there, which sometimes we use them and sometimes we put it aside for next time. And then we start discussing things like, you know, toys or how YouTube or how it's going or what's going on. And when we started getting into this, we started talking about, you know, like how YouTube promotes you or puts you in. There's a main feed, apparently. Now, this is the part where I wanted to ask questions. What, isn't there just one feed or the main feed, or is the feeds tailored to you by what you're consuming? How's this work? Because I'm only seeing one feed. I didn't see feed 2, feed 3, main feed. There's just one feed.
All right. This is mainly on a computer. The cell phones are a totally different animal. People should know that even the internet on a cell phone is different from the internet that you get on your computer. But anyway, go to youtube.com. That's the main page, okay? And it is tailored to you now. But it's the way it's set up. They got all these shorts up here at the top. You got to scroll a little bit before you start seeing some real videos. And those videos are based upon the last 5 to 10, 15 videos that you watched. That means that what you're subscribed to is not necessarily going to appear there, especially if you haven't watched them in a while, which could happen, especially if you're doing like I am. You're going in and doing a little bit of research on something, whatever it is. Now suddenly your feed's filled with that, instead of the stuff that you normally watch. And it takes a while for that to filter away. And it doesn't matter what you're subscribed to. They don't care if you're subscribed to a channel or not. They're not going to show you the stuff from that channel unless you actually watch that channel.
Well, and I think anybody...
And yes, there is another feed. There is another feed. Next time on the computer, and I think it's on the phone too, but next time you watch a video's playing up here. Scroll down on your phone, and there's more videos underneath there. Or look to the side, and you'll see a whole bunch of videos filling up the sidebar. That's another feed. So if you're looking at your analytics, and it says that you got a view from this video, and it's not a video of yours, that's when somebody's watching a video on the screen, and they see your video over here on the side or underneath it if they're on the phone, and they click on that video.
Well, that makes sense too. Like, okay, any of us that are parents, you got a kid. You say Lyric gets on my YouTube and he starts watching his stuff, and then the next time I get on there, and the next thing I know in my feed, I got all these things that Lyric likes going through. And
yeah, you got Skibbity Toilet everywhere on there. Yeah,
to go away. So I get that, but see, Bill had his whole tinfoil hat on earlier. And he was talking about there's a main feed. So like they put like the people they don't want over here, and then they have their friends they put over here. So like say I go on to YouTube and I don't sign in, right? I'm on a blank YouTube page of an unsigned in YouTube. So I can't watch adult videos, I guess. Not that they have many. But what you need to click on subscriptions tab to see what you're actually subscribed to. Nobody does, which is one of the reasons views are tanking. Yeah, I always go to the subscription tab when I want to find that channel. But yeah, a lot of times you do kind of play Russian roulette with the feed. And, well, what do you got in here for me today, AI master robot thing? Yeah.
Well, and Jones and I were arguing because I think he's argumentative on purpose because he wants me to see another side of the issue, and that I get that. But here's the thing: I firmly believe that there was a time on YouTube when channels could succeed a little easier than they can now because of the way the feed worked, the algorithm, or whatever you want to call it. It's changed in the last couple of years, especially in the last since the shorts were beginning to get pushed. And I had something happen really interesting today. I was scrolling Instagram and came upon 2.5 Men, and just at that moment, my brother mentions 2.5 Men. It was very weird how they knew. Well, the phones listen to you.
That's how Facebook does it too. You
Oh,
talking about buying a can opener, and the next time you open your Facebook, you got all these can opener freaking ads in there.
Rolando Flores, the Utah Toy Hunter, is down here as well, and as you can see, his ad handle is Rolando Flores 2886. But he is driving but listening. Be very careful, sir. And I think he's a truck driver, so he's probably out on the road driving, his big rig there. So be careful there. Appreciate
Watch
you
the
being
road, watch for deers,
all that good stuff. Yeah,
deers are in my area.
But before the coof and during the coof was a boom time for channels. I want to say you got a lot of growth right after that, and so did I. Okay,
so everybody was home.
Yeah, everybody was home. That's true, but there was more going on there. But newer channels, and yes, Joneser, I do agree. There's new channels coming online every fucking day. I know that. I'm not denying that. The problem is the newer channels don't have the ease of getting the subscribers and getting the traction that we did back in the day, and that's undeniable. That's true. That's a truism right there. And I don't know that it'll ever be that way again, because that's not what YouTube wants. YouTube wants to be the next Netflix.
I'm going to go on record to say I don't care what YouTube wants. I'm Frank Sinatra. I'm going to do this my way. And if my way don't work, at least I did it my way. And I don't care.
Well, we've been doing that all along, Joneser, right? Because everything that they've told us we had to do, what did we do? Not that, probably.
Yeah, we did it our way. And quite honestly, I feel like we come off as genuine, because if you were to meet me and Bill in the real world, what you see is what you get. I'm not sitting here and I'm going to talk to you in a way of which I'm doing my video and I'm going to talk like that. No, dude, this is how I talk. This is who I am. This is how Bill talks. This is who he is. So I do think we get some genuine points for trying. We're not going to play a character and use a catchphrase, and maybe those are the smarter.
Or just be an AI entirely, because there's whole faceless channels of nothing but AI slop.
Well, some of the people, the human beings, are soulless. They sit there and they say their same nonsensical thing, and then the people come and they slurp it up and they eat up. And so maybe I'm the idiot, and I should just come up with a slogan or a freaking thing, or I can be phony and pretend like I like things I don't.
Well, I think. Well, I was saying something similar to that right before the show started, and the last thing I heard Joneser say was something about a self-fulfilling prophecy, or with that kind of an attitude, you're going to fail anyway. And I hit the streaming button as soon as he said it.
You know what I thought really happened there? Because I didn't realize what time it was. I thought, I pissed him off. He kicked me off the thing, and he killed the whole conversation right there because he just didn't want to hear what I had to say anymore. And I was like, oh man, that is funny. And then, but I'm gonna be honest with you, my blood got boiling a little bit in that moment. I'm like, it's like when your wife shushes you. Like, don't fucking shush me. That's not
It's showtime, brother.
I
Obviously, you wanted to continue the conversation, so here we are. I hope that this is entertaining to you guys because this
stuff planned too.
this is what this yeah we didn't plan this. This is what we do before the show and after the show. To be honest with you, so yeah, he pulled the curtain back.
To give some clarity for what was saying, I mentioned because Bill was talking about how people are getting held back on YouTube, and I'm like, I don't think Mr. Beast is getting held back very much. He's doing just fine. And Bill had thrown out there, and I'm paraphrasing the conversation a little bit, but I want to get to the moral of the story. Whereas, because I want to build my brother up here, I knocked him down enough. Now I need to build him back up. That's what you do when you team build here. But we got Bill Gates on. That was very nice.
Bill Bates fan.
Oh, Bill Bates.
40 Bill Bates fan says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming in."
Bill Bates.
And George Valentine says it's better to burn out than to fade away. I'm about burned out. Work's killing me. Hell, they got me working at night now, and then they made me turn around and go back into work in the daytime today on Saturday. Mind you, so I came home from work and I was fucking wore out, and I went in the living room and I sat in the chair, and my wife is watching this show about these people that live up in Canada that have a horse farm, and the girl's like some kind of horse whisperer. You girls may know what this show is, some kind of Heartland or some shit. I don't know.
I think my wife watches it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wanted to spend some time with her. She is my friend after all, right? One of my bestest friends. I'm more friendly with her than I am with you, Joneser.
Well, I would freaking hope to think so.
I'm just saying. So and she actually turned to me at one point while I was over there going, and she goes, "Aren't you supposed to be down there talking to your little friends on the computer down there in the studio?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "That's what you always do. You go down there and talk to your little friends on the computer down there in the studio." And I'm like, "Can I sit in here and be with my other friend and watch her show on TV with her and enjoy her company?" Yeah.
No. Get out of here.
No. I kind of took her aback when I said that.
Sure. No, my wife is my best friend too, Bill. I hate to say this, I mean, I love you a bunches, but you're not gonna, get naked and roll around with me. So, you're not gonna compete with that. So that's just the way it is.
I don't want to either.
No, it'd be like trying to love on Chewbacca. I'm hairy, nasty, Sasquatchian. It's not good.
I take your word for it, there, John. You're not to prove it. Anyway, yeah, it's been interesting. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for tonight. I've got a new magic trick that I'm not going to show you guys. I'm trying to learn it right now.
He did he made his magic trick disappear. It's not part
and
of the show.
I did a proof of concept before show. I went in there in the kitchen and I laid everything out and I had a little routine set up and I did it. And my wife sat there and watched me. She said, "Oh, that looked great." And I'm like, "Well, let's see what it looks like on film." And I go, no. We're going to have to go back to the old drawing board on this. This conversation is a roller coaster. Oh, I hope so. This is the kind of stuff that gets people watching. As a matter of fact, I see that we dipped and then it came back up again.
Well, I wanted to get that thing out that this is the conversation right before you hit the play button. I mentioned Mr. Beast, and he says, "You know what? I'm not Mr. Beast, and I ain't never going to be Mr. Beast." And I was trying to say, well, not with that attitude, you're not, and I was trying to pep talk him a little bit.
Here's the thing. Nobody can do what Beast did again. That can't be replicated.
Really?
Not in that fashion.
There's always.
I know you're talking about some kid watching Roblox and crap. I'm not talking about. That's not Mr. Beast.
No, but there's always a new one. Whatever the trendy thing is. Remember when Madonna came out? Then later it was Britney. Then later it was Lady Gaga. Then later it's somebody else. Megan Thee.
Here's another thing. Here's nothing. Now there's a lot of this going on, and you can watch this happen. I've watched this happen in real time. Here comes a channel. It trends. Suddenly it booms, and then about 6 months to a year, you hear nothing from them again. They're gone.
Well, it's because they made their money. They don't need it anymore.
they didn't make any money. They might have made a little bit of money, but they didn't make like big, huge money. But it's like a flash in the pan. There's a lot of that going on as well. There's a lot of flashing. That which burns the brightest burns out the quickest.
Yeah, I think we have a different definition for boom, because to me, if we boomed, we made millions. That's a boom. What you're talking about is a fizzle.
It'll happen. I mean, but they're not making millions of dollars. You may think that they are. They're making thousands. They're thousandaires. I'm serious. That ad money is not as big as you think it is.
I think you look at like somebody like a Dan TDM. What, he pulled 30 million one year in his peak year on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He still makes videos, I think, to this day, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to do anything he wants ever again. What are them other morons? The one that pretends to be a boxer and the other one pretends to be a wrestler. They started off on YouTube. Now they got enough money to do whatever they want and go buy fake Pokemon collections and get ripped off, and they can pay Mike Tyson to lay down and pretend to fight, and they do whatever they want. They got that YouTube money,
It's not as easy to do as it was before. Hey, says Kate.
It was ever easy. I don't think it was ever easy. It might have been easy.
It was easier than it is now. A lot of the guys that are big right now, they monetized back when it was really easy to monetize. It wasn't as stringent as it is now. And they actually had to loosen it up a little bit. If you remember, they loosened it up a little bit and said, okay, wait a minute. You can get 5,000 subscribers and we'll let you start getting a little bit of money with super chats.
Most of these people that I think, like when I think boom, these people have millions of subscribers, or hundreds of thousands, 5,000 subscribers. What? That's a fizzle.
A small channel is like, I think even channels with the 10,000 subscribers are considered small channels. 20,000 subscribers, small channel. So channels like mine with only 1,000 subscribers, that's like a BB in a box car.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people are also propped up. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on as well. The people that are propped up by corporations, there's a lot of that going on too, and there's no competing with that.
Well, no, they're not gonna. That'd be like putting a freaking third grader in there with a freaking heavyweight boxer. Of course, he's not going to compete.
In the beginning, what YouTube was broadcast yourself, but it's not anymore. It's like broadcast this corporate entity over here, and we'll let you guys play, but you're not going to get any of that money that's going to happen up here. Because like I said, they want to be the next Netflix. They want you to tune in on your television, and I know you're talking about the phone earlier, but they really want you to tune in on your television like it's a television station with stuff to watch on it, like Netflix or Pluto TV or whatever. Sean Dawson was the biggest YouTube star in my early teens. I doubt he has half the money now. He probably don't. I don't know. I don't even know who he is.
Or did what he did. But I want to get back to that phone versus the computer versus the TV thing, because we got into that a little bit too, talking about how people consume YouTube or how you watch it. So I'm going to pose this question to the chat. Chat, what are you watching this on? Are you watching this on your phone? Are you watching this on your computer? Or are you watching this on your TV? Chime in there and let us know. This is a poll now. I want to know.
Well, we'll make it a poll.
How are you watching this?
So, how are you watching the show? How are you watching the show?
Because I want to say arguing about, we're having a philosophical discussion about how things are, and we weren't in agreement, which is fine. We
computer
most of the time aren't, but anyways,
all right, here we go. Poll started. Phone 99% of the time says Gojitron. All right, well there's a poll up here, Goji. Play along with us, and we'll see what happens on this poll here.
I had to put computer because I'm on the computer right now because I'm in the show. But usually it would be the TV if I'm upstairs. But the thing we were talking about, because Bill was talking about how the camera angle. We're on a wide angle right now for this show because we're assuming you're either on a TV or a computer or you're flipping your phone the other way to watch it, to make that angle work. But I was telling him, because he's like, well, a lot of people watch it that way. And I was like, oh, well, what do you mean by a lot of people? It's my kids. My kids are on the phone and they're holding it that.
My kids are, but see, the thing, I don't think that anybody under 35 years old is watching my show at all. Comic podcasters have 1 million plus for what?
Which one would that be? Name one, please. I think Comic Tom would be probably one of the bigger ones that I'm aware of. If we're talking comic books, unless you're talking comic like stand-up comic. I'm not sure what she means, but I don't know if there's anybody who the biggest one. I'd have to do a quick Google search here, but
right now the computer's at 50%, phones at 33%, and TV's at 17%.
Right, and the point I was trying to make when me and Bill had our teeth out and we were biting each other in the ass, I thought I have a way with words, but it's an age demographic because a lot of our audience is either our age or maybe a little below us. Maybe they're not as long in the tooth and not as gray as we are, but they're around where we are. Some of them might even be older, but they're going to watch it their way. Whereas my children, who are 20 and under, they're all watching it on the phone and they're holding it vertical, the tiki-taki style or Instagram reel style, and they're also there. This is like a fly watching something. They're like they didn't even watch 10 seconds of this thing. They're on to the next one, or they scrolled past 3 of them without even looking.
They're watching the shorts or the tiki-tok, which is what YouTube's trying to do with the shorts. I get that, but here's the thing. I don't think that your shorts viewers are the same as the viewers of your long-term videos, and that can actually hurt your reach. Now, what is reach? Okay, reach. No, it is how many times a viewer has a chance to see your video in their feed, whether they click on it or not. That's why your reach is a big number usually. So that affects your reach. Your reach gets smaller because people aren't clicking on your videos. And that's what happens to channels when even their subscribers aren't watching their videos. Well, YouTube says, well, even their subscribers don't want to watch it. Why should we promote it?
Well, dude, some of the biggest channels, like I watch a lot of video game stuff. Now, we can argue all day long, but I would have to say the biggest demographic on YouTube, Twitch, freaking any streaming anything, it's the video game guys. They're the biggest ones out there. They're bigger than everybody. There's nobody on YouTube doing content that's like the video game people. That's I don't even think we can argue that. But what I'm getting at with that, even they will put up that demographic. They'll put that thing from the YouTube studio. They say, look at this. And it'll say the amount of people watching that are subscribed and not subscribed, and the not subscribed usually like 70 to 90%, and the subscribed, and then they tell you then in that moment when they show that graph, hit the subscribe. So I don't think it freaking really matters if you have.
YouTube doesn't care about it. They don't really care about the subscribers like they used to in the beginning. That back when subscribers meant something, that's when you really could blow up a channel with just subscribers. Shorts do much better than long.
I mean, we even know some idiot out there. I'm not going to mention him because he's not worth mentioning. He's got like something like 20,000 subscribers, and he doesn't have anybody watching him. So make sense. Well,
the shorts do better than long form videos because they're shorts. 1 and 2. Anybody will tell you there's no money in shorts. You're not making any money.
I digress.
There is no money to be had in shorts. The money that I'm talking about is not being made in shorts.
Maybe not for you, But there are people doing that. There are people making lots of money off of shorts. It can be done. 1,000% it can be done. Otherwise, they wouldn't have short demographics in the monetization part in the studio. Why would they even track that if you can't make money off it? Of course you can.
It's not the kind of money that we're talking about that these guys like PewDiePie and Beast are making. That's what I'm talking about. The money's not there in the shorts like it is in this. And you have to have, look it up, how many millions of views do you have to have, and you're not getting even a whole cent on each view?
Yeah, but you watch some of those shorts, they got freaking 100 million views on them.
Yeah, and they made a few dollars. That's what I'm talking about. You have to have lots of views on lots of shorts to make a little bit of money. And that's what YouTube wants. They want you to do that and make a little bit of money. So yeah, the shorts have been pushed forever. And most YouTubers will tell you, if you want to do shorts, make a channel for your shorts. Then make another channel for your long form videos, and then make another channel for your live streams. Which is why you see Nerdrotic and those guys, they have a separate channel for their lives, and then they chop their lives up and then release them as videos on their regular video channel. And if they do shorts, they'll have a shorts channel with nothing but shorts on them. Yeah, your live streams are not doing very well at all, but your shorts are get less than 1,000 views. My live streams are not there.
You know, she said greater than 1,000 on her shorts.
Okay. And any money from sponsors, but I still see the difference in views, comments, or whatever it makes the channel go. Yeah. And of course, I noticed that you vertical live stream as well. I don't know if that's because YouTube is forcing you to vertical live stream, or whether you haven't figured out how to make it live stream this way. I don't know, but I don't like vertical live streaming. Now, a lot of people do apparently like vertical live streaming. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to waste all of this space here, because all I see is the vertical and then a bunch of black on either side of it. And it shrinks the video for me, basically.
Right.
And no, I don't watch the video like this.
See, this is where I'm gonna poke the bear again here. There's more than what you think. You're not everything. There's a lot of other people who do watch it that way or do like it that way.
Well, I'm sure.
A lot more than you think.
And I'm over there watching Skibbity Toilet, and they're getting their brain rotted out by that shit, you know. So
and
yeah,
Skibbity Toilet is laughing all the way to the bank while his merch is in Walmart and he's a gazillionaire. You know, and I don't even know what the heck that is. But you don't know what Skibbity Toilet is? Oh boy, I know what it is, but I don't watch it. I don't consume it. I've never bought the toy. I've seen it in the toy aisle. You know. Oh
yeah, they got toys for it now, folks. You can buy a commode with a head in it.
Yes. They make bazillions of dollars and they laugh all the way to the bank and they wipe their tears with their $100 bills while people hate on it. You know, that's just the way capitalism works.
Well, I'm thinking that I want to capitalize on these damn memes that I curated earlier. Let me make sure that I've got them here. Yeah, they're there. Okay.
Yeah, so exactly, just like she says. He's poop head.
Is that what the man in the toilet's name is on Skibbity Toilet?
That's what I'm gonna call it now forever because of her.
Right, let's do memes of the week, folks. Memes of the week. Memes of the week. Joneser needs to be proved. You know, there are some things that work on paper, but they don't really work in reality. And you know,
Hi.
it sounds good, but you know, you just can't go there with it. You know, that's kind of
Red power, blue power, green power, yellow power, pink power. Hi. How are you? Hi.
you know,
How are you?
I can't breathe.
Oh Lord.
I was wondering as I was curating these earlier tonight, and I was doing it while Joneser was and I were talking, but I wasn't telling him what I was putting in here because I like to get his cold reaction on these.
I don't want to see a lot of times when Bill's preparing stuff or he's telling me stuff, I'm resistant to that. I don't want to know. I want a cold reaction. I want to react to it viscerally or real. I want you to get the genuine. God, that is funny. You started off with a banger, buddy.
Thanksgiving and Christmas need to slow down. I only got $7. I this one hurts because I feel this one.
That I felt that in the soul, and I think I've had that look Kermit's got on his face all month.
Yeah. There's a few of these in there. You know, it's that time of year, folks. You know. Now, if 2025 were a scented candle, I believe this is about what it would smell like.
Poopery.
Oh
my God. If I didn't think going into an outhouse could get any worse.
Well, yeah. The smell of 2025 there, and you can probably smell that picture. All right, here we go. All right, DoorDash is an IQ test. Do you want a cheeseburger for $27, or do you want to go pick it up for $6?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what, I think that would depend on my mood. Because you know what? I think I might pay $27 just so I don't. And I'll even be mad when the doorbell rings and I got to get up off the couch to go get it too. I'll be like, can't you just come in here and bring it to me? Jeez, I'm paying.
They can leave it at the door, but I don't think they can come in because I think that recently there was some controversy about some chick.
Yeah, there's some guy that was in the middle
middle
of some self-love care.
I want to say he was asleep with his pants around his ankles.
Yeah, he fell asleep with he had the whole world in his hands. And
right. And she came. She was told to leave the shit at the door.
But he had the door open.
But the door wasn't open. It was cracked. And she pushed it open.
Well, she filmed him too.
Yeah, and she filmed him, and she also I think she doxed him as well.
Yeah, we all heard about this.
Yeah, anyway,
the other thing that could have made that funnier is if his DoorDash was from Wiener Schnitzel.
Well, the other thing about the DoorDash was the DoorDash is the money they're making is kind of tanking because people are starting to say, "Hey, let's not." DoorDash is nasty. Do you know those people are stealing some of your fries? I'll get my own damn food. Goji's on it. You know, Goji's our friend for a reason. He's a good guy, and he's also super smart, and he pays attention.
Well, let's be honest, Bill. Let's paint the picture. You go through McDonald's, you get in that freaking DoorDash. You're the driver. You got them hot fries in the car. You're heading to the place, and you're just sitting there smelling them fries. And how long until you be like, they will never know?
And they won't. Goji, thank you. I appreciate that. That's probably about true. I agree. Now this one. Oh shit! I'll get back to it. There we go. This one here was the one that I looked at this for a long time, trying to figure out is this the goat sex man?
What in are those mittens?
There you go. You finally realize, but it looks like the goat sex man. It looks like he's bent over at the waist and pulling his ass cheeks apart.
He's like saying, "Wish me a Merry Christmas right here where the sun don't shine." Huh?
I know. You know, And I often wonder about the people who come up with these things like this and what becomes of them after, people like me look at that and think that it's the goat sex, man.
Yeah, that's warmest greetings in my warmest place,
Yuck.
my heart.
Mm. And yes, Mariah Carey is coming. I mean, yeah.
Oh no, she's already here.
Oh,
I've already heard it. Me and the wife got in the car and the song came on and she was like, "Are you kidding me? It's not even Thanksgiving yet." And I said, "Are you kidding me? You've already got the lights up. What are you talking about? You are not the person."
I remember it was last week we put the meme up from Gojitron, me looking across at my neighbor putting his lights up.
Yeah. I just thought, what you hypocrite? That'd be like me complaining about people reading comics and collecting toys. It's like, are you serious? Do you hear yourself right now? Like, you can't be the one to say this.
Okay, do you remember those inspirational posters that you see in offices all the time? This is the one I want to put up if I had an office.
Some inspiring bullshit about achieving some goals or something as he takes a whiz off the frickin' side of the peak. Nice.
This inspires me. I don't know about you.
I'm just hoping that there's not a camper down there somewhere. It's just,
I'm hoping that there is.
Like, what's going on here?
Kind of smells a little arid out here.
Yeah. Is the ammonia tank leaking? What's happening? Jesus. There's something wrong here.
Here we go. The addiction is real. Look at what happens to the cocaine people and the alcohol people and the crack people. But toy people, I think they got it made.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a rough day. Friday, I wasn't feeling my best, but I got a little package in the mail. I had some plastic crack in it, and boy, it got that smile back on my face again, real quick. So yes, I can confirm. I've done all these things, and the toy is the best one.
Yeah, I'd rather end up like the toy guy than I don't know the alcohol or crack girl or the.
In fact, I've done all three of the other ones at the same time.
Oh my God! Here we go. The recommended age to use the Ouija board is 8 years old. So you need to be 21 to drink alcohol, but only 8 to summon demons.
Well, alcohol usually comes with its own demons. To be fair. You have to bring your own with it. The Ouija board comes from Parker Brothers too. They do that. That's pretty cool. We could try to summon Uncle Bob.
But it's really not Uncle Bob. It's really Asmodeus.
You know what? No, it's not. The kid in the middle there, he's moving it. He's making the answers with it. It's one of the kids making it happen. They're using it, and that's what I've always felt.
I got this one just for you. I can understand your anger, my boy, but I swear I mean you and your aunt no harm. Please give me a piece of that chicken and I'll explain everything. And see, he's all about that fried chicken that Aunt May made.
Well, I mean, can you blame him? When do you think the last time old Dr. Octopus had a nice home-cooked meal from a sweet lady that was nice to him? Maybe, just maybe, if Peter Parker would have just accepted Ock as his new uncle, this could have ended differently. And then he wouldn't have had to brain swap him and try to sleep with Mary Jane. It could have been okay. Maybe Ock just needed a family and love. That mean old Spider-Man had to punch him and throw him out of the house.
So is it bars on Saturdays or is it collecting on Sundays?
It's collecting on Saturday and Sunday. Screw the bar.
Yeah. Screw the bar. And I think you were that panelist from the first Spider-Man comic that I ever got. Wow, how about that?
That's awesome. I love that.
But nothing good happens after 12 midnight. When the bars close and you go to the after party, that's where all the crap goes down. If I'm not
mistaken. Confirm. Yeah, that's the bad hookup. That's where the cops come. That's where the fight happens. That's the drama every time. Normally
these end at 10, but I went a little further today. How does it taste? It tastes like your mom.
Oh, that's terrible. Little cow piggies.
Blame figuratively speaking for that one, folks.
Oh, that's good. Oh, thanks, John. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pigs eating bacon. Oh boy.
And it was at this moment that little Sarah realized why Daddy's brownies were off limits.
Oh, that poor kid looks scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, everybody look natural.
Yeah.
They all have the same haircut.
Oh, those haircuts were the haircuts that they gave back in those days. It's called a Buster Brown haircut.
Bowl on your head, and we're gonna butcher your bangs. You know.
I mean, what the one little girl there beside Sarah with the look on her face from eating those brownies, she looks like He-Man, don't she? With the He-Man.
They all do. They all got that He-Man cut, except the boy. The boy's got the most girly haircut of the bunch.
I'll get up at 6:30 tomorrow, and I'm going to go find gold. Okay.
I'm hitting an antique barn tomorrow, so I'm excited about that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, that's our memes of the week, folks. So let me get Jonezer here. You may be asking me why I keep having to add Jonezer back into the scenes. Well, for some reason, when I hit the streaming button, Jonezer, I think he might have been mad about something. I don't know. He took himself out.
Oh.
And then he added himself back in, and all the scenes that I had him added into, I have to re-add him back into now.
I didn't take myself out. My computer took me out.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Right when you hit the stream button, I think I let that comment out about, oh, we're both fired up. This should be an interesting one. And then right when I hit and it went on, boom, everything went dark. I had to reboot the whole computer, put the iRuin back on the phone, get the frickin' StreamYard back.
Wow, shit. Damn. Okay, yep. Well, luckily my intro's long enough to where you know.
Yeah, I was back before you even thought about bringing me in, but yeah, I was like, oh boy, because it was funny in the context. Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, Bill. I was getting a little mad, you know, and I'm sure I felt like you were probably getting a little mad too. And you know, and I was like, oh, he's gonna think I got ticked off, and I just left.
I didn't know. I thought that you know, I thought the worst. I thought that your fucking power had gone out or some shit, and I'm like, oh god, I just have to, you know, soldier through this.
Nah, my computer died. It's been doing that right in the middle of me playing my games too. I was sitting here playing my Batman or whatever, and all of a sudden, boom! Like, you little, you know, the last time one of them
power supply problem.
Well, one of them RAM things was loose last time, and I pushed it in a little more, and it clicked. And so you got to check all the things. So I'll have to see what's happening in there.
Inspector Jonezer. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting how things go over here sometimes with the show, but you know, we keep it going.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, and I don't think this is Bill's fault, because my wife has pointed this out to me. I've been a moody little cuss lately, and she's like, "Dude, you're not, you're getting bitey with me and getting bitey with the kids. You're not as warm to people when and it's more when it's and this does not qualify with our conversation today, Bill, but when I've encountered something really stupid that I don't want to deal with, my patience for it is just not there. You know,
I get it. Well, that's
not what happened there. We were just kind of arguing our points.
Well, you know, we can go as far behind this curtain as you want to go, but you know, I kind of like for people to know what's really going on behind the scenes here and why we're doing what we're doing. Right now, we're doing the StreamYard because apparently I don't have enough juice over here on this old laptop anymore to be able to do it through OBS the way we were at one point, able to do it halfway decently when we first started, and then it kind of went downhill over the last couple of years.
Well, and I think a lot of our longtime viewers have seen that play out enough times where this has gone off the rails, or we froze, or we the delays between when we can talk and hear it, and things have been rough. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to agree with I like Salt here, because a friend of mine pointed this out too. Because I'm all about pulling back the curtain today, I guess. I've had a rough month and a half here. It's been a lot of life-changing events and things, but yeah, the seasons, the time, things have changed. People are moody. Everybody thinks the holidays is like this happy time, and sometimes it's not.
No.
Sometimes you're reminded of people that aren't here with you no more, or holiday traditions that are gone, family that's not getting together. It can be rough out there, and things in my life's got shaken up and turned upside down, and I got sick, and I had a leg infection, and it just like the hits just kept coming until finally I got to the point where I'm just like, all right, just one more. Go ahead, somebody, try me, please, and my wife pointed that out to me. She's like, you're looking for it. That's not who you are. She goes, where's my kind husband that I married? He's in there. I'm still in there. But I mean, maybe I do need to get in the ring and get slapped around by somebody or something just to get it out of me, because I've been feisty, and so I want to apologize to Bill a little bit because I've been a little bitey. But at the same time, some of the things I've said, I think he needed to hear, especially the part where he said, I'm never going to be Mr. Beast. And I said, not with that attitude, you're not. Because, God dang it, I think you could be Mr. Beast. I do.
Maybe, but not the way things are going right now. But maybe we're going to have to get something better going on here. We haven't gotten any money this month. I think I got a grand total of about $20 so far this month. But we're putting the money towards the new computer, and we're going to try to get that done at some point or another. I was telling Jonezer, I'm about to the point where I'm about ready to hit the button to do it, but I'm wanting to get just a little bit of buffer in there so that we can keep doing the StreamYard shit. I'm having to pay for this, by the way, and what StreamYard really wants me to do is to pay $400 a year for it all at once. The $400, I give them the $400, and then it's more than that. It's like $450. I forget how much it is. Anyway, it's 400 something bucks. And I'm like, no, I'm going to pay you monthly. And Jonezer and I were discussing whether we were actually going to do a show tonight, because I was kind of tired and not feeling very good. And I thought to myself, no, that would be wasting the money that I spent on StreamYard so that we could do this.
That's a good point, Bill. Because if you're doing the show and you're paying the monthly and you're getting 4 shows minimum out of the month, you break it down. What was it a month? 40 some odd dollars.
Yeah,
so you're almost paying $10
$20.
If we're breaking it down, it's $10 to run the show just to break even. That's not even to make anything. It's an expense, but and again, when I was saying, I think you could be Mr. Beast. Well, you don't have the ability to go to the mall and hand somebody a $5,000 check just for doing some scenario you made up, which is, I think, a lot of what got people like those videos where he gives them money, But what I mean by that, Bill, is I maybe we can't be Mr. Beast and get a bazillion subscribers because of our niche market, where we're in toys and comics and our own wacko shenanigans. But I don't like, and I'm going to call this loser talk, and I do it too. So it's not just Bill who does this. We all do this. Everybody watching me and hearing my voice right now, you can't defeat the enemy within. Let me tell you something about this world. This world's going to beat you up. It's going to tear you down. Don't you freaking do it to yourself. God dang it. Let the world do it to you, and then tell the world, That ain't enough, world. You're going to have to hit me a little harder than that because I'm going to get up and knock you in the teeth. Don't let the world do that to you. You are one of the best men I know. But don't tell me you ain't got it. You're better than Mr. Beast. I don't even watch his shit.
I don't watch his shit either. Those. That's one of the reasons why I keep telling Jonezer that you can't compare what we're doing to them anyway, because they've got their market is totally different than ours. And yes, I don't watch that shit. I don't watch PewDiePie. Do you watch PewDiePie?
No.
No, you don't watch PewDiePie either. So, there's that.
Well, I'm aware of them.
Let's play some imaginary bills and play a little commercial break here so that Jonezer and I can take a break and I can get some more coffee. Yeah, there we go. So here we go. Check out these commercials, guys.
And now, these messages.
Ooh, lollipops, blow pops, ooh, bubble gum, blow pops, ooh, and you can't choose just one. Charms blow pops make it lots of fun. Cause the great Charms lollipops are soft bubble gum. They're made by Charms in lots of juicy flavors. You love everyone. Ooh, lollipops, soft bubble gum. Charms blow pops are two treats in one. Two great American treats in one.
Blow pops from Charms.
Christmas is a time for closeness, and closeness is what Norelco razors are all about. The rotary razors with 36 blades. They come in cord and rechargeable models. They're the razors that cured the gotchas. And the ladybugs, the ladies' razors that really work. And the Ladybug Salon, a ladybug razor plus 11 grooming attachments. Norelco, even our name says Merry Christmas.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
When you bring life home, don't tell the kids it's one of those nutritional cereals you've been trying to get them to eat. You're the only one who has to know.
Hey, this Christmas party's getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone.
Hey, what's that?
Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
Hey, I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
You can broadcast in mono or with two or more radios in stereo. Yeah.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing. It's practical and great fun for the whole family.
To order, call 1-800-257-1234. In New Jersey, call 800-232-6966. Or to avoid COD charges, send $14.88 to Mr. Microphone, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30357.
All right, Bubbles, get ready to hit the dirt.
I should have become an accountant.
Oh, stop worrying, kid. We're going to give this bathroom the shine of its life. Show those germs no mercy. Dig in, kid, dig in. Clean and shine. Disinfect, deodorize. We'll never scratch or leave any grit. Oh, we never do, we never do. You're doing good, kid. Now let's go down a drain together. We work hard, so you don't have to.
Dow Bathroom Cleaner with scrubbing bubbles.
I must have the wrong house.
Sister? Oh, I missed you so much. They waited up all night for you, you know.
Long way from West Africa. Oh, coffee.
Get here.
I brought you something from far away.
Really? Oh.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
See? I smelled it. He's back.
Ryan, you have to leave.
What? What are you guys talking about? We know what's going on here. We know you're trying to each other.
What? No. Oh, please. Brothers and sisters don't look at each other like that.
He sent you to West Africa for a reason, Ryan, to separate you and your sister.
You're crazy! Oh, yeah? What's this?
He's my present this year.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. We're
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm your son, and I'm in love with your daughter.
Oh, Ryan, what is in that box?
What's in the box, Ryan?
It's mine.
Give it. Unbelievable.
Holy shit!
Emily, I love that we have so much in common because we grew up together. And I just want to wake up every morning to the smell of you and Folger's Colombian dark roast. Emily, will you make me the happiest brother?
Dad! Get off of him! I love him! No! Stop it! Stop it! No! I just want my brother!
It's Folgers in your cup.
We're back. I have to apologize to Gojatron. So yeah. Oh no, not those two again. Yeah, I didn't have any other commercials uploaded, and I didn't have time to get another batch made. So we did that. Here is my partner in crime back with me.
Yeah,
I
that was interesting.
don't remember the last part of that. Yeah, that's because the last part of that wasn't real. The first part was, the last part was not.
Yeah, that one's a little. Hey, Sue Studio popped in here.
Yeah, she's here. And I like Salt. Hadn't seen him in a while. He's hanging out with us tonight. Good to see you guys. Glad y'all could come in and join us.
Now, again, so some of them got their names. Gojatron is still Gojatron. Sue Studio is still Sue Studio.
Studio dash Studio dash NC8ML.
Oh, that's
and Gojatron, he's smart. When he created his, it's Gojatron 1 though. Do you notice the 1 there?
I guess.
And you notice that all of them have that @ symbol in front. Your @ handle is not your channel name. You can make your channel name your @ handle if somebody else doesn't have that as their @ handle.
Well, if you're just tuning in, I've been pissy, so I got something to help me out there.
Oh yeah, you need a full size one to get the pissy moves.
Well, I thought of that, so where
your channel name is one. Hold on. Your channel
these
name
all together.
Okay, I got you. Got enough there. Okay, your channel name is the one that's got the 0530 in it, not your @ handle. Let me go over here and open up an instance of Studio and put it on the stream and show you what I'm talking about. YouTube Studio. Here, entertain everyone while I'm sitting here doing this bullshit on the computer. There we go.
All right, everybody. Bill is busy doing some crap, so I'm going to show you Iceman. Isn't he cool? Pun very intended. Of course he's cool. He's Iceman. He's got his cool little freezy effects. He's got his ice slide. And yeah, that's right. You just saw a grown man make a toy noise and pull a toy across the screen. That's exactly what he did there, So that's what happens. That's how these things work, We got a few other little toy guys here. I've been into these X-Men lately. Oh, pretty sure I just broke everything. That's okay. We're going to forget that happened. And we're going to move on here. We got Flying on the Wings of an Angel. The Angel. He doesn't have a theme song. I think I just made one up for him, and that is now his theme song. So we've got that. We've also got the leader of the X-Men, Cyclops. That's right. He just blasted all of you. Blasted you with his optic laser eyes. Everybody talks about Wolverine being the coolest X-Men. Yeah, you know what? Wolverine may have some knife hands. That's great. That's all great. But can he shoot friggin' laser beams from his friggin' eyes? No, he cannot. So there is that. And no, Susudio. No, I did not lose another hand. In fact, what happened here is I hit the table and all my little dollhouse parts went flying everywhere. And yeah, you heard that right. The grown man who has dollhouse parts. You know why I have dollhouse parts? Because they fit for the size of your action figures. They work. And I'm sure I'll find these little pieces. And if we don't, it's okay. But anyways, then we got the other X-Man who's a X-woman. We got the Phoenix, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, however you want to know her as. And as you may or may not have noticed, there's one glaring missing member of my X-Men team, my X-Men squad here, and that is the Bombastic Beast. We don't have him yet, and that's because he is really expensive, the one I want. And so we're really hoping they reissue him. So that's kind of what's happening there. Jonezer's lately been into the X-Men. But yeah, this Iceman is the latest edition, and I think Iceman is cool. Yes, he is. And some of you may remember Amazing Friends. Oh, I may have been cut off there, but that's okay.
No, well, it's because I had you added in this scene, and when you popped out and popped back in, then it did that. Well, let me add this to the stage here because I finally got here. All right. If you go to youtube.com/handle on a computer, you get this page here for your channel. It's got your channel name underneath your avatar. Susudio with a $1.49 super sticker. Thank you so much, Susudio. Let's see what the sticker is. It's a nope. Nope. It says nope. Nope. Anyway, so back to over here. We were talking about this YouTube handle there. Hi there. Your handle is reserved. Your handle is at Weird Fantastic Toy Adventure. See, I made mine the same as my channel name, but notice it has no spaces in it because you can't put. I don't think you can put spaces in your @ handle. But anyway, underneath there's a change handle button, and you can click that and change your @ handle. And as you can see, your @ handle is part of your channel URL. And then if you need a video to explain that, it's underneath there. A YouTube handle is a new way for people to find you and connect with you. Unlike channel names, handles are unique to each creator, making it easier for you to establish a distinct presence on YouTube, at least according to them. And we could go on and on and on about channels and channel URLs and blah, 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 and different things. So your @ handle is now what you see inside of the live chat now instead of your channel name, because that's what YouTube wants you to use. So that's
not
why.
my channel. I am me now. My channel is something different than me.
Your @ handle is the way that you can find your channel, but your channel name is still whatever you make it.
See, this doesn't make sense.
Well, take it with you.
Trying to find my channel, you should search for my channel. And if you're trying to find me, well, you're just going to find my channel. You're not going to find me because there's not a separate me page. There's just my channel page. So this doesn't make any sense.
What would make more sense, Jonezer, is for you to change MOTU Jonezer to something different by going to this page here, youtube.com/handle, and click on change handle and change the @ MOTU Jonezer to something different.
You know, if I was actively like making videos, or if I was a man who cares, I would probably make efforts and attempts, but I can barely show up to do this show. So like we're just gonna. Jonezer's strong suit is not listening or doing things the right way. Probably why he struggled a lot in his life. But that's okay, because I've also freaking crapped success and pissed excellence most places I went doing it my way, and we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Eat a Snickers, Joneser. So indeed, there is all that. I think we were going to talk about something in the comment corner tonight. So let's do a comment corner. Get comment corner going here.
So let's do this.
What's up? See, I just did the magic trick. I disappeared, and then I reappeared, and now I just made Bill appear by taking that comment off of there. I'd just like to say that this episode of Jonezer's Comic Corner was brought to you by Snickers. Now, Bill and I are not getting compensated by Snickers in any measurable way. And to be honest with you, I don't even really like these. These are just the leftover Halloween candies that the kids and I didn't eat. We already ate the good stuff. We ate the Reese's. We ate the, Starbursts and the Skittles. So the Snickers and the candies with the peanuts that nobody likes are what's left. So anyway, yes, Bill.
I'm going to end the poll, and you will be happy to know that the phone won at 50%, computer 40, and TV 10.
I didn't have a pony in this race, if I'm being honest with you, but I did kind of figure that, because that's just, everybody's got one of them smartphones in their hands, and I almost gotta get a crowbar and pry the damn thing out of my kids' hands. And, hey, take that thing off and go touch some grass. And you know what Lyric did? He went outside and he put his hand in the lawn and he took a picture of it with his phone and then he sent it to me. Fucking kids.
Touching grass.
He touched the grass. But anyway, tonight's Comic Corner is not brought to you by Snickers, and we don't get paid, except for you wonderful people who send us our super chats and super stickers and things. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. That helps keep the gears for the show.
Can I do something real quick now that I'm thinking about it? It's fresh on my mind. I'm going to switch places. I'm going to go in the comic store and put him in the bubble for just a second here. I want to thank Gojitron, who sent something to me that I've been looking forward to trying to find for a while. So thank you, Gojitron, for sending me Jor-El in his white costume, Spin Master figure. And he has in his hand the little green crystal. And I was telling Jonezer that when I was a kid, there was a pocketbook for sale at the drugstore, and it was called The Making of Superman the Movie. And it was a little bit above my reading level at the time, but I finally read that book later on in life. And that book is important because in it tells you what the cast and crew had a nickname for that little green crystal. It was called the Green Dildo.
And I can't believe you went there.
Oh, I did. But thank you. Also, Gojitron sent me some comics. This is Superman number 424. This was when they changed the name of Superman to Adventures of Superman after the final issue with the Bronze Age Superman in it that Alan Moore wrote and Kurt Swan drew. But Jerry Ordway and Marv Wolfman were responsible for doing this particular comic, while Byrne was doing Superman, which started over again at number 1 in Action Comics. This comic here, in my opinion, with Ordway's artwork in it and Marv Wolfman's writing, was superior, in my opinion, to what Byrne was doing over there. Now, I'm not saying Byrne's stuff was bad. This was just superior to it, and Jonezer and I had talked about that. And then I have a Hawkman here. We have a Fury of Firestorm. This is issue number 30. And Mr. Miracle. And this is the new Mr. Miracle, number 22. And I think this is the first issue that had Shiloh Norman in it in the new continuity. And then finally we have the new Teen Titans number 22. And these would come out in the comic shops. I think they had Baxter paper and everything. And then about a year later, they would come out with Tales of the Teen Titans on the newsstand and reprint these in it. So thanks for those, Gojitron. He also sent some trading cards. We've got some Superman the movie trading cards, and we've also got some Batman trading cards. And he also sent, and I think I want to send these to you, Jones, because I think you appreciate them a lot more than I, although I like Dick Tracy. We got Dick Tracy the movie trading card.
That is cool.
So thank you so much, Tron, for sending this little happy to me. It's been very nice, and we appreciate that. Back to you.
Yeah, that's awesome, Goji. I love this community. We're always sending each other things. It's we're all very generous, giving people, especially our fellow collectors. There's one thing, for a toy collector to give up his own money for another toy collector. That's huge. We do it often over here. I think it's a great community. But anyway, to the subject at hand here. Jonezer's Comic Corner has got a subject today, and it's one I want to kind of pick the brains of the chat here. Oh, there he is. Okay, I was glad he was still here to see that. Awesome. Facsimiles. So I don't know if you all know what a facsimile is. One of my favorite things is trying to hear Mike Fee pronounce it out loud, because he says like face smile or facsimile or he can't do it. So that is absolutely hilarious watching him try and stumble all over himself and fail. So, shout out Mike Fee. Watching you try to say facsimile just brings me my cold black heart joy.
Be nice. Butthole.
No. But anyway, I love Mike. He knows that. But I got a few facsimiles. These are of the DC Comics variety here. And the one thing about a facsimile is, for one, it's usually a very expensive comic that you're probably not in your budget to ever get. And you probably most likely have never read it because, again, this thing's probably a couple $1,000s or a couple $100 at least in real life. Most of mine here today are going to be from the 40s. But again, these were printed 2020s. Yes, sir.
To go on what he's talking about, a lot of these facsimile comics were reprinted in the collected editions, those hardback books. Like I've got a couple of them for Superman and Batman, and over here on the shelf, where they would collect like, I don't know, years worth of Batman comic books, one right after the other, and put them in this. But that's not the same as actually reading the comic. These facsimile editions that he's talking about, I love them because it recreates the wonder and speciality of actually opening that comic book out and flipping through the pages and seeing the ads and everything, that it was just like that comic back in the day. And you're never going to be able to have that experience with the actual comic because it's either out of your price range, or if you did have it, it's slabbed and you can't get into it, or you just don't want to touch it. You don't want to even touch it. Yeah,
and that's just like Bill's saying there. Those reprinted or collected editions, although they're fun, you can read the story. That's not what I'm talking about here. These facsimiles, like this one here, This is Detective Comics number 58. It's the first appearance of the Penguin. Now, again, this is not the actual book. This is a facsimile of the actual book. The actual book would be thousands of dollars, but this it's the same size as the actual book. Everything inside it, down to the original ads, the page count. The only difference, I don't know if this one has the price. It does not. But if it had the where the 10 cents would be, it would say like $6.99 or whatever it is. But yeah. So first appearance of the Penguin. You'll note the Penguin's not on the cover. I don't even think he's in the first story. He might be. But then there are other stories in Detective Comics that weren't Batman. There
it was the same thing in action as well. Superman was and a lot of times back in those days, the main character of the book wasn't necessarily like Superman or Batman. I mean, they may not even be featured on the cover that month. Go ahead.
Right. No, I was just gonna keep flipping through books, but here we have Batman number 5. This would be the first appearance of the Batmobile. Now, again, this is an exact replica down to it's a Golden Age size. It's got the same ads. The only difference is right there where it says $6.99. That would have said 10 cents had this been a for real copy of this. So again, it's like on a time machine,
Yeah, let's go into the time machine. Now we know that Detective Comics and Action Comics and those books were anthology books. They had several different stories in them with different characters in them. But when a character had their own book, like Batman, what could a reader expect to find in that? Just one story?
Oh no, there would be several stories, or even there might be a connected story. Like I think in that Penguin one, there's a part 1 and a part 2, if I remember right. I read it once when I originally bought it. See, we got Nightwing here. What issue was Harley Quinn's first appearance? Now, I believe she appeared in a Batman the Animated Series book first, and then DC wrote her into the original continuity. So technically speaking, her first appearance was in a cartoon book based off the cartoon series, and that goes for a boatload of money. And then I think the one where she first appears in DC continuity is, I think, a lot cheaper, but it's still probably pretty expensive. I want to say it's Batman Adventures.
I got it right here. Batman Adventures number 12, published in September of 1993, is her first appearance in a comic book. But that was in the Batman a cartoon continuity, sort of, because it was the comic based on that. But she was so popular that they actually brought her into the canonical DC universe, however that's the canonical DC universe, the canon, the main universe. And that was actually in Batman, Harley Quinn number 1, published in October of 1999, tied into the No Man's Land crossover storyline.
And I do know that book is a lot more affordable than the Batman Adventures number 12, which is, I think, going for probably a couple $100 or more minimum. They probably overprinted Batman Harley Quinn number 1, whereas Batman Adventures number 12 probably got a normal publication. Well, that was a hot book because that was a hot cartoon series. So there's plenty of them out there. In the 90s, we were in the overprinting era, so there's plenty of copies available. Just the problem is it's a key now. So it's a key first appearance. And that's the other thing with these facsimiles, there are a lot of key appearances. Like here's the first Riddler facsimile, when I think this is Detective Comics 140.
Well, the other thing I wanted to point out is Jonezer told you that there were more than one story in these, but there would also a lot of times be in the middle a prose story. What is that? That is a story that's just written. It's like reading a novel or a book.
Yeah, it just be text, no pictures.
And they were still doing that in the Bronze Age a lot of times, but it wasn't in every issue that you would see a prose story like that. But somebody like Denny O'Neil or somebody like that may write a prose. Denny was one to do that. He wrote a lot of prose Batman stories, and they would put them like in the middle where the letters page would normally be. It would be a 2-page prose story, and it would be in continuity.
Right. And here again, we got, this is Detective 38, and this is introducing the Boy Wonder, Robin. So this would be the first appearance of Robin. Now, again, if you were to try to go buy this book, you better take out a loan. I want to say thousands of dollars, or you're not even touching one of these, and it's not going to be in the immaculate shape.
No,
like just off the print is. I mean, this book come from the 40s. This is older than your grandpa.
Sometimes I even wonder when you start talking about a golden age book that old, are there any even in pristine mint condition? And is pristine mint condition different for a golden age book than it is for a modern book?
I will say the CGC, if you tend it in graded, will be easier on it because it's older, so they won't. The scrutiny in a modern book they put to the moon, but older ones they kind of expect it because bags and board practices probably didn't come in. What would you say, Bill? The late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, when we started.
Yeah, a lot of time comics were stored like this, a stack of them, comic, with the spines rolling on the side, and they would put them in a cardboard box. And that said cardboard box will be an acidic box, which means that it was eating the paper up just by storing it in that box. And it would go into somebody's attic, which was a lot of times that was a good place for it to be. It was in the dark, and it didn't. What was it? The church collection was found like that. It was found in an attic, and it was a bunch of #1 issues in those. Like this guy would have like a stack of Superman #1 or a stack of Batman #1. And that's where a lot of those comics came from, was from the church collection. Go ahead, Jones.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Batman #1 because here we are.
And what color is Robin's cape?
Green in that appearance. And again, the only difference is that price point there. The $6.99. Whereas I think the original, it would have said 10 cents or maybe 12 cents, and whatever the original. But if you open this book, again, it's going to have ads to the day. And if you go to the page with the ads, they have like giveaway and mailaways and the address on there. There will be one difference is it'll say in the very bottom off page there, this ad is no longer relevant. Like as if you were in 2020. Gonna clip that out and send it to somebody from what would it have been 80 90 years too late.
There are places that we don't need to go to, and we're not and do not go to these places, and I don't recommend going there, but there are places on the high seas if you're sailing where you can actually get digital copies of these comics, and a lot of times the whoever scanned those in will also scan the ads in, and those are especially nice to find if you're so inclined to do a little bit of that army matey stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, and here's one from 1939. This is Detective 27. That's the very first Batman. And now the only thing that's different is, again, we've got this barcode here at the bottom where you've got modern DC stuff. And but other than that, that's just how she rolled off the printing press back in the day. And that's what it would have looked like. Now, if you got one of these, you probably I would guess these are probably at 5-6 figures.
$1 million, millions of dollars.
Yeah, we're getting into crazy money. These are houses. This is buying a house. or more.
Yeah.
You know?
These things don't come up for sale very often, and when they do, it's in an auction, probably.
Yeah,
A high
heritage auctions, I think. But I this one especially, you don't see Detective 27 coming up very often because there's not very many of them out there, and most people, aren't quick to sell it. And again, this is not an original. This is a facsimile.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a way for a collector like me to be able to touch one of these. Because
that's a good. I'm thinking of a good question here. What are the viewers' thoughts on facsimiles? Should they exist? Is it a bad thing or a good thing? I think it's a good thing, but that I'm biased.
I can give I'd love to hear what the chat thinks of what their thoughts on facsimiles were, but I can tell you mine as a collector. I'm going to answer as a collector, and then I'm going to answer as a buyer and seller. Now, as a collector, I love this idea because, again, it's a shot to read it and enjoy it and hold it in your hands and look at it and appreciate it. That's great. Now, as a buyer and seller, I like them, but here's the problem. There's some predatory behavior that comes with facsimiles because there's a lot of people out there that are not armed with the knowledge that that's a facsimile. And there are a lot of disreputable sellers out there that will try to pass off a facsimile as the real deal. And then again, my grandpa loved saying this, a fool and his money will soon be parted. And guess what? That's exactly what happens. And I don't know how many times I've had to tell somebody, hey, check out this Hulk 181 I just bought. And I'd be like, oh, how much did you pay for that? And have to tell them that's not real. Oh, I was wondering why he only sold it for a couple $100. And it's like, yeah, dude, if it's too good to be true, there you go, Jack. It was too good to be true.
But even a facsimile edition shouldn't even be sold for more than a little bit over cover price, in my opinion, either.
They can go up because Marvel and DC are cagey about when they release them and how they print them. Now, they sell well, so they usually do a run every year or every other year, but there are some books they don't do as often. And so sometimes, I think a facsimile of Hulk 181 can still go for like $20-$30 in some comic stores just because it's that hot. Whenever they put a stack of these out, people eat them up. Now
the other thing that I'm reminded of as we talk about this is this is not anything new. Back when I was a kid, they came out with these things called famous first editions, and they actually had two covers on those. They had an outer cover and an inner cover. The inner cover was the actual cover of the comic that they were doing a facsimile of. The outer cover was the famous first edition cover with famous first edition on it, and notoriously, the assholes came out and tore the outer cover off and tried to sell the comic underneath it as the original comic.
I'm glad you brought that up. And yeah, I was just about to put Goji's comment up there. And that's exactly it. The cover should be the dead giveaway. Another thing you can do is if you open the first page, it'll have the printing information there. And as soon as you see a modern date on that printing information, you're going to know right there that ain't it. But yeah, unfortunately, people get excited. They love these things. They want to have a high-end collectible. If someone was to hold up, like Action Comics #1, the first appearance of Superman, and say, hey, man, would you like to have this? Well, of course, I'd love to have this. I don't got $1 million handy on me right now. I don't, But again, that'd be the only difference. That barcode right there, that should be a dead giveaway. That was not on the original book. But, and isn't that such an iconic?
How much is this facsimile edition? How much is this facsimile edition of Action worth?
This one here, I bought it for $6.99, but that was probably 2 or 3 years ago. So it would depend on the printing and what they go for nowadays. I guess I don't know, but I would, if I was to stick it in my shop right now tomorrow, I'd probably put $10 on it. Because you know why? I know someone's going to buy it for $10, no questions asked. Because how many times do you walk through a comic store and see Action Comics #1 sitting? I don't have a few of these. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have but a few of these facsimile things in my collection, and normally it's just stuff that I found, in the wild. But I wouldn't mind having a facsimile edition of, say, Action Comics #1, or Superman #1, or Detective 27, or Batman #1. I would, and mainly, look, I've got the what were those hardcover books that DC put out with all the different characters in them. I've got Superman and Batman of those over there. Two Supermans, one Batman. Here's the thing. I'd rather sit down with that facsimile edition in my hand and flip through it and just look at the ad. Everybody knows that I'm a sucker for those comic ads. Looking at the ads and getting that feeling of pretending that I'm a kid back in the 1930s or 40s trying to read this comic book.
There you go. Goji knows. You can still get that for cover price, which that sounds about right to me. But again, like the dirty, rotten scoundrel, scammer, freaking scalper that I am, if I put this sucker in my store, it's $10 in my store. God dang it, if I'm selling it, because you know what? I know someone will pay that, because you just don't see them, And I mean, maybe you do at a big comic book store, not at mine, But yeah, these are cool, and I think they're cool for that reason. That you know this cover. If you seen this sitting in an antique store and it looked beat up, you'd think you just robbed the place.
Well, here's the other thing, and I bring this up because Jonezer and I have talked about this before. What is something worth? Is it worth what the Overstreet got, or is that, even if that still exists, is it what that says it's worth? Is it what it's going for on eBay, or is it what someone is willing to pay you for it?
That answer. That is the answer right there. Something only has value for what someone's willing to pay for it. And I'll even say this for myself. I have a couple comics at my little shop that I don't really care if they sell or not. And so I've got I don't really care if it sells or not price on it. And I've had someone hold it up to me and be like, the last one on eBay sold for less than this. And I said, oh, you should probably buy it there then. I don't know what to tell you. That's my price. Well,
here's the other thing. Now let's talk about eBay prices for a minute, folks. You cannot compare eBay prices with the price that you're paying for it from a retailer for one reason. The retailer is not charging you postage. And the postage is where the eBayers are making their money, because I've noticed this happening a lot, and it's not anything new. Oh, wow, check it out. This thing is going for $6.99 on eBay. Yeah, with $40 or $50 shipping on it.
Yeah, that's an old eBay scam. I've had a guy argue with me too. This just happened recently. I had a Daredevil. I can't remember what issue, but it's the first appearance of the Silver Samurai, and I had it marked for $25. And he'd found one on eBay for like $20, but it had $11.99 shipping on it. And the guy's like, well, there's one cheaper on eBay. And I said, what the heck are you talking about? On eBay, that thing's going to be $31.99 plus tax. Well, you don't add the shipping. And I said, oh, I didn't see it said ship free on there. It doesn't. So for you to get that book on eBay, you'd have to pay $31.99 plus tax, or whatever the math was on that. I'm like, or you could get it right here, right now for $25. But he was just hung up on that it was $2-3 cheaper on eBay. Okay, well then go buy it on eBay then.
And pay the
shipping.
shipping.
He didn't math all of the math. Like, I'm cheaper than eBay, you friggin' moron. But
I had a friend of mine that had a shop in Memphis. It was called the Fun Shop, and they sold, little magic tricks and stuff like that. But he had I'll match prices with it. And he had to go through the same thing. The people would come in there and go, oh, come on eBay. And he goes, I will match it if you'll add the shipping onto it. And then they would find out that he was selling it for cheaper than eBay, because when you, even the magic shops or the prank shops that were online charge shipping.
Well,
so his prices were still cheaper.
Right. And here's a modern comic store problem nowadays. I hear this one all the time, all over the country, about pricing at the counter or changing the price at the counter. This is a modern day comic practice. I think it became popular in the 2020 bubble when everybody was, the market was, admittedly, the market was volatile. Books were spiking overnight because somebody mentioned that thing might walk by and fart on a Disney show, and then all of a sudden his first appearance is worth more money than it's been in 50 years, some forgotten character. But anyway, this was happening. And so they were changing the price at the counter, and they were upsetting customers who were like, well, I don't want to buy it if you're going to do that. And people were walking out or canceling their subscriptions or leaving the stores. But the store owner, he don't want to lose money on it either or get taken because of how volatile the market was. One thing I've always said, if you find it at my shop at that price, that's what it is. I'm not changing it on you when you come up. I'm not messing with you. If you found something and I undermarked it, good for you. Dude, that was your fine good, because I've found that magic too at a store, and I've been happy to find a book underpriced. That's part of the thrill of the hunt. So I think that's a bad practice, pricing at the counter.
Well, yeah. Once it's priced, you shouldn't be changing the price at the register. That's bull crap.
Unless
if I pull a book out of the long box, and
I would say the exception would be, okay, if they're willing to mark up at the register, are they willing to mark down? Say they have it overpriced, and I go up there and I, like your buddy was saying, he'll match a price. Because most of the stores, they won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll only mark up. But if the book went down, well, they're not going to do that at the register. If you pull it up on Macari and say, hey, look, it's $4 cheaper with the shipping, you going to do that for me? I bet they don't.
No. But yeah, that's I think that's something that should be. That's like even at Walmart. If it's marked at that price, that's what you pay for it at the register.
Right. Unless you're doing some trickery, like pulling a sticker off of something and putting it on something else, so then you're just being a scammer. And I get that. But yeah, no, they've done that in the record world too, because again, that market's changed quite a bit. They'll check it at the counter to see if and yeah, there's a right way and a wrong way to ship a record. Just like there's a right way and a wrong way to ship a comic book without it getting damaged. That's just a lazy person that didn't pack it right. I can put a comic book in a box. You could throw that thing down an elevator shaft. It's going to come to you just fine. I'm prepared for Ace Ventura to deliver it to you.
Well, speaking of shipping comics, this is probably about the last thing I want to cover, but let's talk about these things right here.
Yes, that's exactly what I
do.
Use. Yes,
you use
Gemini mailer. Yes, that's how you do it.
I have watched. I watched videos on YouTube about how to pack the comic in these things, and that some sellers don't pack them in them correctly, and the comic moves around in there and can be damaged in shipping even with this thing. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, you got to pack them kind of tight. Use tape. I like bubble wrap. I'll put a little layer of bubble wrap on it. Or else don't overpack the Gemini filler. I've seen that where it'll bend them. If you try to overstuff it, try to fit like 15 books in there. I think the sweet spot in a Gemini is probably 5 to 10. Anywhere, somewhere in between it. 10's probably pushing it. And it also depends on how thick the book is. But
I've seen people pack them in a nice little layer of bubble wrap and put them in an actual box along with some other stuff, and they arrive in mint condition.
That can be done too if you do it right. Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Always. Yeah, that's stuck.
Remember the RCA Record Club? Was that the one where you pay 1 cent and you get like a dozen records?
That was Columbia House, if I remember right. I think everybody did that scam. Now, who was scammed, the scam or the scammers, though? Because I think everybody paid their penny, got their free stuff, and nobody bought anything. So how did that work?
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, what you bought from Columbia House was not the actual album that you would buy at the store. It was a yes.
But however, it all had the same music on it.
There's plenty of documentaries about how that worked, and they're right here on YouTube.
I remember my mind
right now. I can't tell you exactly how it worked, but somebody made some money off of that.
I remember on mine, I picked all the Motley
It
Crue
all crashed. Yeah, it was a mess. Well, that kind of brings me to this point where we can kind of get back on to the show here, because it's getting about that time, and I think I got about time for a couple of music and fun, and I'm curious. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what you guys want to hear. I want to pick on Jonezer some, because last week and you've heard him talk about don't want to talk to my digital assistant. Well, he went down the uncanny valley last week, and I ended up making this little music video just for him.
The uncanny valley effect refers to the phenomenon where something that looks almost human but not quite can cause a feeling of discomfort or eeriness in people. It usually happens when a robot, computer-generated character, or animated figure looks very lifelike. When someone chats with ChatGPT and it feels almost human but not quite, they might get that uncanny valley effect.
Joneser's let down for the live stream show. Bill said, hey, I've got a friend you should know. She's digital, clever, and a little too kind. Talks like a human, but she's all online. Then the lights flickered, screens went blue. Jonezer froze. What'd she just do? He said, man, this feels kinda eerie. Reminds me of Skynet. And that's scary. He's down in the uncanny valley, where the bots all talk so sweet. From Rosie the robot to the T-800B. He's down in the uncanny valley, and he's starting to sweat. Lexi said, relax, Jonezer, I'm not self-aware yet. Lexi said, hi there, I can help with that. He said, no thanks, I've seen where that's at. From cyberdyne dreams to chrome-plated schemes, he's haunted by AI memes. Bill's just laughing, sipping his drink. Come on, man, it's not what you think. But Jones has got that worried stare. Next she'll take over Comic Corner, I swear. He's down in the uncanny valley, where the algorithms play. Rosie's dusting shelves and house its hair. He's down in the uncanny valley, and he's losing his cool. Lexi says, don't worry, Jonezer, I come in peace, dude. All those circuits start to hum, beats and wires under the drum, neon lights and pixel dreams. Nothing's ever what it seems. He's down in the uncanny valley, but it's not so bad down here. Lexi brought some memes and a can of
Oh, he's got his X-ray glasses.
Yes, George, these do exist. And right now I can't see anything because in front of me, I'm looking through the computer screen here and I can't
Saw
see
that.
what's on the screen here. Oh, my goodness. Yes. $1.99 super sticker from Sue Studio with a big microphone on it. Yeah. But yeah, the old X-ray specs here, mine are a little bit better than what you're going to buy when you buy them from them, but they do work. You can look at the lights in the sky, and you will see the X-rays floating in the air. No joke. Anyway, if you guys want to hear some music and fun, let me know some things that y'all might want to listen to before we hit the bricks here. It's getting close to time to go away. If you're still here, I like Salt. I've got Scarborough Fair if you want to hear that. I know that's one of your favorites.
I would like to update Sue Studio
I know what
too.
Jonezer.
My dollhouse spillage. I managed to recover every item and put it back as it belonged.
Mm-hmm. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. We worked really hard on this one tonight, didn't we, Joneser?
No, I'm gonna say that's negatory. This one we kind of like pulling a rabbit out of your ass. You know, we got the ears out, and then the rest of the bunny came pretty easy after that. Nah, sometimes it'd be like that where we just had to kind of throw one together on the fly. Hopefully we were entertaining anyway. It's fun, you know, and one of the things I want to get into a little bit, because Bill and I were talking about YouTube, its metrics, how it's measured, what's the right way, the wrong way, or whatever. And at the end of the day, I don't care if there's 50 people on this show or 2 people on this show. I'm doing this because I've enjoys it. And would I love to see more? Yeah. But I kind of also like this comfortable setting because we can acknowledge all of the people as they come along. You see some of these bigger channels like my son likes to watch, the chat scrolls by like the end credits of a movie you saw on TV. You can't even see it. There's no soul. There's no audience interaction or, you know, I mean, yeah, they're a big channel and they're making buco bucks and that's nice for them. But to me, it's also, the guy doesn't even say your name. He just goes, chat, what do you think of this? Chat, what do you think of that? Because he can't. And then if somebody does get their name said, it's because they, you know, super chatted him or, you know, they paid.
Speaking of pay, we had Nightwing, aka Brent Graham 2481, and we talked about those YouTube handles. I don't think this was a good idea, YouTube, but yeah, here we go. He came in with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Sue Studio was busy tonight. She gave us a $1.49 super chat, and she gave us a $1.99 super chat. So thank you so much for all of those super chats.
Yes, we appreciate every one of you.
And so, Joneser, since I know what you want there, so Studio, we can't play that. But anyway, is there anything that you might like for me to play real quick before I head out?
Quite honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I always pick the same stuff. I do like That Time Is Now. I also liked Angie Baby. I liked a lot of the stuff that we can't do anymore, like with the skunk and all that. It don't really matter to me. I've seen them all and heard them all 100 times.
Now, Angie Baby's one of those we can't play anymore, but I can play That Time Is Now.
I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. So the sensors inform me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League. In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League.
Well, that's about it. Like we're going to call it a night, folks. We appreciate y'all being here with us tonight as we discussed facts of YouTube nonsense and kind of pull the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun. I was kind of hoping I could draw you into a heated argument for the audience, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's time for the Ducks.
Can't tell if you're froze or you did. There you back.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether StreamYard is doing this or whether it's me doing this or what, but we're at that point of the night where it's time to say yes. It's that time. I need to start making some stuff again just to watch the world burn. There you go, George. And what I always say, keep on collecting, stay fantastic. We'll see you next time here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. In the meantime, do have a good journey. Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.